All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're up here at Jimmy Britt, one of my favorite dealerships here in Statesboro, Georgia. And look, just got up here today. We are leaving actually, and today is Friday. Have not been here in 2 days, but somewhere in 2 days, these all got dropped off. But we have got a ton of, you guessed it, 1500. They say e-torque here, but these are HEMIs. HEMIs, there's your protest badge right there. I'm surprised it says e-torque here. It should say HEMI there. I can't believe it doesn't say HEMI. It says e-torque instead, but there it is right there, your protest badge. Here they are right here, and they are looking really good. Look at, we got like pure motor oil on the tires. They look very sharp, but look at how good these are. We're gonna walk through them and then we'll check the prices, but we got one sitting right there. And we got another one right here that is your standard e-torque. This is a 2025, so that's not what we're looking for. Here's another one right here though, but see, it's weird again how we got that same e-torque logo here where the Hurricane says Hurricane. I'd have thought that would have been HEMI there. Instead, we got e-torque and the protest badge is how we're seeing it. So the protest badge is really how you're telling it. Here's another one right here. We'll look at what these are, but look, and then that one is not, that is a, not a 5.7, this is a 5.7 HEMI one right here. And here's a 5.7 HEMI one right here. So we have got them on the lots. 2026 HEMIs are here. I promise I will try to get up here hopefully next week. I'm actually leaving. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on a flight out of Savannah, and I'm going to see my daughter and her family for 5 days, so might be a little bit, but we will obviously review some of these for you here, you know, coming up. But we have that, like I said, that's that protest badge. I think it looks pretty dang sweet. Let's look at some window stickers and see what we got here. We got some 2500s stacked up in here. Like I said, they got a lot of trucks that have come in the last couple days. They have jammed this up pretty good. Let's take a walk before you hit these. Let's just, for the heck of it, take a walk and see what we got on the front row here. There's a glove. If you need a glove, if you're gonna commit a crime or do something and you need a glove, there's one right there for you if you're up here in this area. We got that Express Edition we looked at already, I think that is. We got a e-torque here. Here's a Hurricane. Looks like a Warlock to me right here. Beautiful Warlock. It is a Warlock, and I like that. I wish I would have put HEMI in there on the HEMI. That e-torque label does not impress me over there, but we're seeing what we got here just walking through. And we got another one right here, another 1500. This has got Hurricane on it on a glossed out. Look at this thing, glossed out. I mean, chromed out, decked out with chrome. What is this real quick? Let's just take a peek at it. And this is a 2026 Bighorn, all decked out in chrome packages. And I'm hoping you can see some of the, where's our packages, optional equipment? Right down here, I'll zoom you in. So there you go, you can see it there. And I see a sport appearance package on there. And equipment group, I don't see much on the chrome, I can't tell, but anyway, you can look at it yourself there, but coming in at $61,000 for that. But like I said, that's pretty sweet. That's kind of a cool looking logo right there, not gonna lie. Then we got an older SST right here, 2025. And we got another Warlock, I'm assuming, right here. This is another new 2026 Warlock. They got a lot of, man, they got a lot of good trucks on this lot right now. That is impressive. Tina ZR2 sitting there, right there, all actually loaded up and ready to go to the airport in the morning. And let's take a look though. So what do we got here? Here's one of those. This is one of those HEMIs. Here's your new HEMI. And this is what we just said. Let's see, we got a 2026. See what they're coming in at. 2026 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 optional equipment right here. Here's what we got on here, so you can see that you're getting the GT exhaust in there and stuff like that too. Hang on, I'm trying to get it where you can see it better. Hoping that's coming in pretty good for you there. And I can't see it at all on there with the reflection coming from the light up there. So you're gonna have to just see what's on there for yourself. Because like I said, I can't get it. I'm getting nothing but glare on my end. And it should have the price of the motor on there somewhere too. But coming in at $62,000 is where we are sitting on here. It looks like 392 gears on there. There's that 5.7 for 20, what does that cost? Is that $2,800? Hang on, I'm gonna hit my light on this and see here. Let me see. We got a 5.7 HEMI with MDS and variable valve timing, e-torque engine with stop and start, and a symbol of protest badge for $2,900. Woo, doggy. There you go. So there's one right there for you. It's a bighorn. Let's take a look at what we got over here. Probably the same thing. This is a 5 or a 3.6. When you see the e-torque without the protest badge, it is going to be a 3.6. This is the express model right here. Coming in, it's a two-wheel drive coming in at 48, and it will be with the 3.6. You can see right there, 3.6 V6. That is what is in this one. Again, same logo right here and here, but you got to look for that badge. That is the protest badge. It says HEMI. This one says HEMI. What do we got here? Another bighorn with the HEMI. What are we looking at? 62, so it looks like it is ordered the exact same way. Will be an exact order as what the other one we just saw was. Here it is. That little light probably helping you. So here's what we got on here. Going up over here. I like that they're giving a limited slip a lot more options in here too. I saw it on here somewhere. Where did I just see that as I was going? You got the 33-gallon tank down here in optional stuff. You got a 33-gallon tank, GT exhaust, night edition, and the night edition is where that limited slip's coming in. And I spin rear differential, part of that night edition. This is a good looking truck though. This is a very good looking truck. We'll take a peek at one of them here on the end. But like I said, they do it up well. That night edition is a pretty sweet looking package. Let me zoom you out. Let you see it a little bit right there. And like I said, they do it very well. Cannot complain about how they're setting those up. I mean, they are sexy looking trucks and they're priced pretty reasonable. They're not too bad. I mean, realistically, when you look at it, they're not too bad. This is another one. This is your simple 3.6. Got a beautiful paint on it. I don't see a window sticker on this, but this is not your HEMI. This is your standard one right here, Tradesman Edition. But look at that paint. My God, look at the sparkle in that paint. That paint is insane. I know you're getting a lot of glare, but look at that paint. Wow. That paint is just sexy. I don't know what that paint is, but that is definitely a good looking paint. That's got some pop, and especially on a Tradesman. Here's another one right here. This is another bighorn. It's going to be the same way. It's got the protest badge. I'll bet we're same. It is. It's basically same exact setup on this one. So they got a ton of these up here. They're packaging them pretty light. No bed lights in here. We got no tie downs, or I mean, we got our tie downs, but no. Do we got bed power? No bed power. No bed lights. They are keeping these things very, very simple in these. How was that one over there? This other one here, which is also the HEMI. Same thing, no bed power, no bed lights. Man, they are keeping them, they are buying these ones that they got coming, are pretty chintzy compared to some of them. I mean, heck, if you look at this Warlock, a simple Warlock for 2026, we have bed lights, bed liner, bed track system, and we have bed power right under there. All this stuff in a lower grade Warlock than what we're getting in a bighorn with a HEMI that we saw right there and right here. This is a bighorn here with the HEMI, and look at how much less bed we're getting in this stuff. Here we got a bed step on it. I don't even think we're getting bed steps on these things. No. So that's pretty crazy how limited they're running these HEMI ones, what you're getting in here for the $62,000. But again, that's probably because of what's allocated. That's how they're being ordered. Here's another one right here. Same kind of thing. Same exact setup. Night edition on it. You can tell that by the wheels. Okay, the blackout in the wheels and the color match fenders and stuff like that. And you got the chrome, or the color match caps on here, the dark out handles. Same exact thing, 62.5. It's going to be your same setup. You can see it right there. Night edition package, $14.95. This is the same exact truck. So they are ordering every one of these HEMIs basically the same. No bed power, no bed liner, no bed lights. That is a bummer. That is a major disappointment here. But you do get your HEMI if you want your HEMI. Here's a bighorn right here. Simple bighorn chromed out. Look at that. Same thing. No nothing on there. This is also a 2026. The window stickers on there, but this is going to be the Hurricane. I don't know what that price is. You can see it there. But it kind of blows my mind how they're not setting up these bighorns very user-friendly for how they're doing a bighorn compared to how they're setting up a Warlock. This truck's done very, very well. This stuff matters to me. This stuff is upsetting this motor doesn't mean anything to me compared to this motor. So very interesting on how they're putting these things together and what they're doing. Like I said, I promise you very soon we will get some reviews done on these new Rams with the Hemis in them. I'm not racing to be the first. There'll be other people that have already done it. I'm not concerned, but I will give you my opinion on them. I'm glad to see them hitting a lot for those of you guys that like them. I would probably, like I said, I would expect a little bit more for the money in the back end of that thing. I'd give up some of the other stuff they're giving you, including the engine, to get the stuff that's going on in the back end that we're missing on these. So let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching.